In the war in Ukraine, there's growing concern that the fight could seriously damage Europe's largest nuclear power plant. The facility is in Russian-occupied territory. Ukraine and Russia have accused each other of shelling the plant. This comes as more ships carrying grain leave Ukraine's Black Sea ports. Charlie D'Agata is in the southern Ukrainian city of Odesa. Charlie, good morning.
Good morning. 4 more cargo ships left these ports yesterday. Another 2 vessels set sail today. But there's a backlog of 20 million tons of grain, and farmers on the front line are putting their lives on the line to gather this year's harvest.
The tug of war over the country's grains may have shifted in Ukraine's favor for now. But in addition to overflowing silos at the port, millions of tons of grain are piling up at farms like this north of Odesa. Third-generation farmer Yuri Yalovchuk tells us if the grain deal collapses, so will his farm. We do not have much trust in Russians, he says. They can strike the grain ships with a missile at any moment. He's banking on shipping out this year's harvest first. It's worth more fresh, and he's got nowhere to store it anyway. This is last year's harvest. Mountains of grain stuck in warehouses across Ukraine. Farmers are now harvesting this year's crops, while Russian forces attack fields, farms, and storage facilities. Whole fields turned into infernos, livelihoods wiped out, starving the world of vital food supplies. Shelling warehouses and storage facilities. Farmers under fire forced to wear flak jackets as they work. The Ukrainian military reported Russian shelling in dozens of towns along front lines in the southeast, hammering nearby Mykolaiv with sustained artillery and missile strikes. While the Russian emergency services released images of damage around the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant after both sides traded accusations of shelling the compound again.
President Zelensky called the renewed shelling Russian nuclear terror. The nuclear watchdog, the IAEA, expressed grave concern over the situation, and the UN Secretary General called it nuclear suicide, calling on inspectors to have access to the compound. For CBS Mornings, Charlie D'Agata in Odesa, Ukraine.